Hello, everybody. This is Annie, and today I'm going to discuss some topics in my episode of This is the Real Deal. Today I am a bit emotional because I am very concerned about some troubling events in the world. When I see specifically these young kids committing such a horrible crimes, going to schools and shooting other kids. It's heartbreaking, to say the least. It's painful, and I wanted to bring this to your attention because I really think people need to discuss it more seriously and try to take measures to prevent those events, because they are preventable. But for some reason, we are so caught up in our own little lives that we don't care enough to look, and help each other out and provide support to one another. The big word here is compassion. I am very upset because years ago we had the Sandy Hook massacre, something that could have been prevented. And now we're dealing with judging this young man who happened to be disturbed and committed a very awful crime, which is unfortunate for all the families involved. And it's unfortunate for them. Often we focus on the event and the tragedy. But very rarely people look into what happened here. How could we learn from this event and prevent them? From having access to guns to, I'm still wondering what moves this young man to cause this, or rather react in such a violent way. And it could be a whole bunch of things, including bullying. I see that very often we dismiss the why. I mean, you have to be either pretty unstable mentally or fed up with the world to a point that you go to the extra mile to do the things that they have done, to the extreme, to cause so much pain. And it only makes me wonder the state of mind, the emotional state where these guys have been, perhaps in such a pain, with nobody to feel compassion for them, to reach out, and help them. Perhaps to redirect those feelings of anger and frustration. It's so easy right now when things happen to start judging people, call them monsters. But if you look at the history of all these kids, they're kids, 20 years old, 18 years old. And it hurts me because there's another life, and people get caught up on revenge and anger. But you have to be also able to see the situation from a different angle and from a different side. We have to have some form of compassion for these individuals. I believe we failed them. We let them down, and that's why they went dark. If you notice, they have come from dysfunctional households. They have mental health history that either goes undiagnosed or untreated properly. People dismiss them. They're invisible, and they feel worthless, unloved. And then all of a sudden they become celebrities for the wrong reasons. They get all this attention after they commit a very serious crime. But while they're in the process of dealing with their own issues, nobody cares. Nobody seems to notice. Nobody reaches out. Guys, mental health is a real thing. And it irks me and it bothers me that so many people decide to judge these guys, called out names. Do you think they have a good time when they go to jail? Of course not. They're treated horribly. And some of them, they don't have anybody to advocate for them. I am hurting right now because I saw some of the images of the interrogation and the trial, or rather the hearing that this young man went through, Nikolas Cruz. It made me also think about Adam, the kid that became the gunman from Sandy Hook. 20 years old. And a lot of people now witness and say, okay, he was weird, he was this, he was that. But if you are different, a lot of kids treat you cruelly, you know? This is a very messed up world. And we need more loving people. We need more people who are considerate, compassionate. I'm sure a lot of those kids were bullied to the point that they were fed up and angry. And not until you are in somebody else's shoes, you will understand how it feels. I'm not excusing their reactions. I'm not excusing their crimes. But if we are looking out to help one another, chances are we will prevent those issues and offer somebody a hand. And like I said, we need to get out of our comfort zone. We need to get out of our shell and reach out to help other people. I just wish things will be different, because not only we lost a lot of lives already, but then we can't help those kids. We fail them. And that's where I'm at. You know, we are thinking that if we kill them, there's going to be some justice. There's not justice here. It's not a win-win. It's a lose-lose. You lose another life after this traumatic event. Nothing is fixed. You know, the gun companies continue to manufacture guns. Unfortunately, these children have access to these guns, and I don't know how, but they are frustrated and they're mentally ill. They need to be treated as such. I cannot change everybody's mind, and I don't expect you guys to agree with me. But please, let's put ourselves in somebody else's shoes and try to understand. It's not as simple as it seems. A lot of people suffer from mental illness, and it goes undiagnosed. And it's horrible when you find yourself all alone in your head, dealing with all these issues, and nobody helps you. Nobody reaches out, and you don't know how to ask for help, or you don't know where to go. You're stuck because you feel lonely, you feel isolated. And on top of that, people are cruel. People are verbally abusive and mean. It's not a good place to be. I would like to see Nikolas Cruz get another chance. I would like to see him get an opportunity to live, at least, to change his path. We can recover those lives that were lost, even if we were to condemn him to a death sentence, a life for another life. What good does that bring? It's just another form of violence. I just want to plead on his behalf for another opportunity. Who knows, maybe he can get some help. It's another child that had a bad history. And obviously no one was there to support him or to help him. Obviously, he was walking in a dark path. And chances are he was exposed to a lot of toxicity. Again, I'm not trying to excuse him, guys. I just want some understanding. Because today it's him, yesterday was Adam, and tomorrow we don't know who's going to be. And it's sad. I am aching. My heart, it's broken because I wish things would be different. And the world would be a different place. It's very disappointing. And I just hope that people have some form of compassion and try to understand. Some of these kids, they don't have anybody. No one to help them. And that's the sad part. And we judge them as monsters. But I think we need to auto-analyze ourselves a little bit more and realize, what am I doing? What are we doing to stop this? To prevent this? Let's judge less and try to help more to prevent these problems. Please make a plea for this kid. His life already ended pretty much because he's gonna be stuck in jail for the rest of his life. And so far he hasn't had a good one. He seemed to me like a very angry person. And yes, I agree that he made the wrong choice by releasing his anger into the wrong people. But he was fed up. He was tired of being abused. Have some compassion for him. That's all I ask. Thank you.